I will never get used to it. All right, guys, we get to go into a game.
A game. We are there. So this is the first showing of Puck today.
Oof. This is, if it's not highly anticipated, I can't tell you what it is. This is about an hour in the works.
Yeah.
And again, sorry for all of the delays. It's unfortunately nothing that we can really do much about. You know, it's actually pretty common in these type of situations where it's a, you know, kind of a LAN type of place where other organizations bring in the computers and we just got to kind of make it work, and we're making it work. So here we go. On Terraform, Ellie in the upper left-hand corner, the purple Protoss. His name is Puck. What the Puck?
And in the bottom right-hand corner, his Zergy opponent, it is Gametime.
Gametime is a Youmacon returning member. I think he's made it pretty far in the previous Youmacon outings.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that this is another one of those players that has a lot of potential, that is going to make it far into the tournament. And I mean, the problem is that there's just so many good players that are here this year that it's hard to predict necessarily who's going to make it into even the top 4.
Gametime going old school and doing Gastric here to get an extra drone out as he makes his Overlord. Have not seen that in a while.
Yeah, it has been a while.
Looks like nothing too crazy going on. Puck going to be building some buildings out at his ramp in the event that he needs to wall off. So he's waiting now to get that gateway started. More drones coming out of Gametime. Puck is moving across the map with a probe to scout out his opponent to see what's up. Overlord coming across for Gametime. Looks like he's going to be headed out to the natural expansion to put that down. Puck has not been able to arrive yet to be able to delay that at all. I'm used to previous games where the natural expansions are a highly contested item that you may or may not be able to get. Looks like Gametime flipping around between his drones hatchery there, doing some APM spam, keep those hands warm. It's actually kind of nice in the room where we're at right now. In previous years, it's been kind of warm and where the aura of the room has kind of gathered. But we're actually right by some actual air vents this year, which is sort of nice. Yeah, and
it makes it, I think, a little bit more comfortable for people to just be around.
Hey, Gametime going for a quick third base here before spawning pool, and Puck is on the scene to see that happen, so he knows what's going down here.
And he's playing accordingly. I mean, neither has a whole lot of, you know, aggressive tech going down at the moment. But yeah, I mean, even though the temperature is a little bit more comfortable for just the body standing by, that does make it a little bit, you know, harder to keep those hands warm. And I did see Gametime playing on the ladder a little bit before this match, and, you know, really blowing on his hands a lot and trying to, you know, keep those fingers circulation going.
Yeah, there's a contentious about I haven't logged into Twitch as SC2CTL, and so is Troy. So there's some back and forth in chat trying to figure out which one is Troy. If you have to ask who it is, it's probably Troy. So he's pretty edgy.
Oh, Troy.
So Zealot is out. It's at the front of Puck's natural expansion here. He's getting his Chrono Boost going. It's a little weird to I look at a Nexus and I see Chrono Boost. I'm like, oh, we're playing Legacy of the Void. Nope, it's only temporary Chrono Boost. It's not those permanent ones.
That's right.
Gametime's third hatchery is online now. He does have some lings coming out. He is not really moving into anything too crazy yet. He has not taken any gas. That is noteworthy as to this point. He's getting the drones going, getting himself saturated here. Puck does have a Zealot coming across the map that is going to make it a little bit difficult here for Gametime, because Zealots stack up against these few lings he does have out pretty well. So I come up here and might get a couple drone kills if he's lucky. As Queen does pop out just in time. So this is a scouting Zealot we have here.
Yeah. And he's got to be careful with these lings, because he really doesn't want to lose those and have to make more instead of drones. It looks like neither player wants to commit too much at this point, mostly just kind of keeping an eye on the other one.
Stalker of Puck here walking right under the Overlord, moving across the center of Gametime. Gametime kind of hiding his lings up in the top. Now there is a Stalker and a Zealot here, so these lings will be easy fodder, and he'll probably end up losing all these if he decides to chase him down with the Stalker. It looks like he is going to work on it.
And Ovi going into the main base, going to get picked off by that Stalker, but he's just trying to see what kind of tech is on the horizon. Not a whole lot going on. He's just going to see the Cybernetics core wrapping up on that Warp Gate.
Stalker and Zealot here are now in the third base of Gametime. He's going to be putting the hurt on this Queen here. If he ends up putting himself into it, he will get that Queen. The drones coming shortly behind here. Ling's trying to reinforce.
Trying to get that surround on that Stalker. Looked like they had it for a moment, but not quite, and there it is.
There it is. Yeah, so he's going to lose both of these, but I think he's fairly satisfied with that. He lost a couple drones and a Queen. Now Puck going for a third base of his own. Happy with those losses. Still only 2 gases here now going at the natural expansion here of Gametime, so he's starting to get the tech going. Roach Warren coming in as well as a layer. Zergling Speed just starting now as well. So it looks like it's going to be some Ling Roach here for a little bit at least.
And, you know, that was one of the things that I saw kind of coming out of Gametime when he was doing the ladder is, you know, just a big fan of those Roach pushes, as I think a lot of Zergs are, to, you know, just make that swell and see if you can break through the front.
Ling's coming up here in the front. If he's not careful, these force fields will catch a couple. Looks like he's going to hold on to them. He decided not to commit, just scouting around with an entire gaggle of Lings here. But he still does not see the third. He does not know the third base of Puck exists yet. He could maybe put on a little bit of pressure. It is nice with that ramp there. It does have a ramp on the backside, so you're able to kind of get in. Now the pylon going down out front is a little bit of an indication there may be something going on up here, so probably come up. Will lose at least one of these pylons. If he doesn't be careful, though, he could get trapped in here by some of these force fields. If Puck wants to use them, he is stacking up that energy.
Yeah, I think that he's anticipating something bigger coming as he sees that this is just a bunch of slowlings just trying to poke around, so he really doesn't want to use that energy at this point.
More Roaches in production here from Gametime with Roach Speed on the way. He is going to be having a nice metabolic boost, and Roach Speed going to be finishing within a few minutes of each other. So it looks like he's kind of stacking up for a little bit of a Roachling poke here, but man, Puck is getting himself going here pretty well in the economy department. 56 probes to 61 drones. That's not exactly where you want to be as the Zerg.
That's true indeed. Puck trying to get that blink out too. He's getting some chrono boosts on that. Get that as fast as he can.
Glial Reconstitution is within a few seconds here of finishing. There's only 2 Stalkers, but a lot of sentries here. The Roaches and Lings are a bit separated. Puck is going to come up on the Lings here, draw them into a fight they did not want to take.
No.
They're going to go ahead and turn around and meet up with the Roach buddies. The supply is 141 to 91 for Gametime right now, but Puck is going to start quickly closing that gap here with the very close economy that both of these players have.
And it looks like both are kind of gearing up for an attack here. Puck moving around the north and Gametime moving more towards the center. The army's following the swirl of the map.
Puck is going to know what Gametime is up to with that Zealot catching him in the middle of the map there, but he's going to come into the third base here. If Gametime wants to keep those drones, he needs to pull them now, but now the force field is going to be able to block them off.
And it looks like Gametime is, he is pulling a couple of Roaches now, but it looked like they was just going to stream across the map, and both bases are getting hit hard by the respective armies.
Man, what is it with the base trades today, Gallegation? Yeah, this is the third one so far.
That's been a lot.
Both players going to be losing their third bases here, and Puck is going to recall, so he is not going to be able to break into the natural expansion here of Puck, but he is going to be able to get some damage done, and he's going to force those units out of Puck. So still, still highly in favor of Puck at this point, because this is not where Gametime wants to be, only being on 2 bases on a bunch of Roaches. And he's just not going to be able to get in here. These force fields could easily cut him up.
It looks like he's just trying to take down some of these gateway or these warp gates right now.
He's being very cautious. He does not want to get stuck. There's a lot of energy there. Oh,
baited a couple of those.
Yeah, nice attempt there by Puck to get that done. A few Zealots here of Puck going to be coming back into the third base of Gametime to prevent him from putting that back down. Even get a few drone kills here.
Yeah, most of Gametime's attention has been at the front of Puck's base, so this was a really good play to try and get some more aggression, deny that third for a little bit longer. It looks like we've even got a Warp Prism heading on the south side of the map to hit multiple places at once.
Yeah, that's the thing here now. Gametime is going to be kind of locking Puck in his base here. He does have an observer, so he could move that out to see what's going on. Now he's just going to be checking the third base. There's a pylon there. Zealot still whacking away at the extractor here at the third base of Gametime. Gametime, I think, he's kind of debating right now what he wants to do, I think. So he's kind of moving in, but kind of not committing to it. Zealot's moving in now, taking out an eventual attempted expansion here by Gametime once again.
Yeah, unfortunately he didn't get that cancel, and so he's going to have to remake that.
War Prism still causing trouble for Gametime in the main base. 4 Zealots taking out the drones. Roaches are pulled back to deal with it. At the same time, Gametime moving into the natural expansion of Puck, getting all of these roaches surrounding the Stalkers. That's pretty rough.
Immortal's coming down, but they're kind of trapped too, and it looks like the roaches are kind of just moving around them. Yeah, doing the burrow movement to get around those force fields and moving right on up, trying to get as much damage as they can. But these Blink Stalkers are worth their weight here, man. They are really microing the heck out of this.
Puck's got him right where he wants him, kind of getting those blinks on as the roaches come up the ramp there, but he is losing his Robobay, and Gametime really wants to get this Nexus down, but he is going to lose a few roaches. The Stalker numbers dwindling a little bit for Puck. If he loses this Nexus, that is going to be a rough time.
Oh, and he got it. Gametime still dealing with some Zealots in his main base, though. There's a couple of roaches they're trying to deal with, but there's the GG.
Okay. Victory for Gametime. That was a rough game. It was interesting that both players kind of just sacked their third bases. Puck using the recall ability to come back and kind of defend his natural, but there's just so many roaches from Gametime.
Yeah.
I mean, Puck did a really good job of getting some Zealots into the main base of Gametime to try and do some economical damage, but by that point, I mean, he had so many roaches. I mean, granted, Puck had Blink, but there just wasn't a great angle on that map to really be able to find a way to get in there without overcommitting from Puck.
Yeah, you know, in Gametime making the decision to get the burrow and burrow move to surround a lot of those units was a real boon for him, and keeping a level head when getting harassed on both sides, trying to get third back down, and so really level-headed playing and good decision making.
Yep, so we're going to try and get Game 2 coming at you right as soon as possible. Just waiting on a map pick from Puck. While we're at it, let you know we're at Youmacon in Detroit. If you're just joining us, Detroit, Michigan. It's a anime convention.
Yep.
A lot of cool stuff going on all over the con. It's a multi-building event. There's a big area called the Kobo Center here in Detroit. A lot of panels and all that kind of stuff. We're in a entire ballroom here. There's a lot of really just pretty much every game you can imagine.
Yeah, everything. I mean, like filled with arcade cabinets, pinball machines, some VR machines. I've never seen them anywhere else.
Yeah, they're like a pod.
Yeah, they're kind of neat. But I mean, like every game system known to man is set up somewhere, and you know, you can find a little bit of everything running around. So a lot of fun. If you guys are in the area, come on down. It's like a $35 day pass. But I mean, if you just wanted to go to your local arcade, you could easily drop that much, playing nowhere near the amount of games that you could play over the course of the day.
Yeah, for sure.
With a lot of fun people. I mean, you know, every convention has a lot of cosplay going on, but with this one being on Halloween, I think that just takes the level up a notch. And there's just been tons of people dressed up, and I mean, these costumes are things that people have really labored over.
It's amazing some of the work and money that people put into their cosplay costumes. Some of them, you know, some people just kind of throw them together to just have something, but others, it's like you can tell they spend months or years putting these things together and refining them.
Absolutely. So huge shout out to those people. Your efforts have not gone unnoticed, and hopefully we'll be able to see more of their great costumes in the crowd cam as the day progresses.
Yeah, forget about that. Cool. So we are going to be, looks like Puck is standing up, so he's not seeing my message. We're going to take a quick break here and get game number 2 coming at you. So we will be right back momentarily.